Hi, everybody. I'm Bob Schneider. Welcome to the Song Club.
I knew it was a bad idea to meet you here, my dear. 'Cause now that I've done it, my heart.
Oh, yeah, here we are. Oh, how about that smooth cut? That's called the smooth cut. Already right off the bat, we're getting it done in a pro manner. Son? I don't know if you've been keeping track, but we getting it done in a pro manner, son. Welcome to the Song Club. I'm B. Schneider, and this is how we do it. This is how we do it the 49th time in a row. 49. Oh, we're out on the farm today, so dig that. And it's nighttime. That's why you can hear the night creatures. Son? I don't know why, but I just want to say son at the end of everything. Why? Because I'm in one of those moods, son. Because this isn't the first time I've done the Song Club podcast number 49. This is the fourth time. Now, did I do the entire episode all the way through once? And then and it was perfect? Maybe the best podcast that's ever been made by anybody on the planet? Yeah. For sure. But did that one have any audio when I went and checked it? No, it had no audio. Now, is this one that I'm doing now going to have audio, son? Is it going to have audio, son? Who knows? I'll only know at the end of the podcast. It's about a 50-50. Now, if I have to do this podcast for the fifth time, is there a good chance that I might just be like, fuck it, and not do the podcast? Probably not. You know why? Because I'm a pro. And pros do what pros do. They create the magic. And that's why I'm here, and that's why you guys are here. That's why you come back. That's why you guys come back to class, son. You guys come back to class because you know that I'm the best teacher in the school. You know, you got other teachers like Mark Marin. He'll listen to you. But will he? Does he actually listen? No. He has a lot of jibby jabby jibber jabber down. Now, he does ask his guests some questions. Do I have guests? Yeah. I do have guests. Who are they, Bobby? Well, let me tell you, son. The guests that I got are all named Bob Schneider. And they write songs, and then they make them available on their Patreon. Now, if you're a part of my Patreon, I just want to say thanks and welcome. I appreciate your support on Patreon, and I'm glad you guys are here, and you guys will get to download all the songs that I'm presenting on this Song Club podcast today. Are you going to share them with your friends? If you want. They're yours to do with what you will. Sort of. I mean, you can listen to them. You're not really supposed to share them with your friends, but you can, because that's what people do. I mean, if I buy a pan at the store, my neighbor needs a pan to make something, to make some seaweed casserole or whatever the fuck they're going to make. Am I going to lend them the pan? Reluctantly, yeah, son. Reluctantly. And I'll be like, yo, when am I going to get this pan back? Because I got to make some stuff too. And also make sure you wash all that seaweedy taste out of this pan, son. So, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. Thanks, everybody. Now, let's say you're listening to this podcast because, I don't know, you just like to listen to podcasts for free. And you want to become a Patreon member so you can get these songs and do with as you will. You want to listen to all of them maybe because they're good. You can go to patreon.com/Bob Schneider. You can join today. You can get all the songs you hear today. Plus, you also get access to all my live streams. I do a live stream every Monday night. That's a lot of fun. I really enjoy doing it. I enjoy the interaction with all the people that are on that live stream in the chat. We got ourselves a little family, as we like to call it. It's a lot of fun. And you get to join us there. And there's also some other stuff depending on what level you want to join at. So there's that. And now let's get on with it. Let's get on with the Song Club podcast, son. What should I talk about? I mean, like I said, I've already done this podcast now. This is my 4th time. Did I tell some interesting, fun stories the first 3 times? Oh, yeah, I did. Am I going to try to retell those stories? Yeah. Guess what happens when I try to retell a story that was fun the first time? I try to recreate the fun, son. And when I try to recreate it, it usually doesn't work out so well. It's less fun and more done. Now, did I just rhyme the word mundane with fun by saying mundane? Hun. Yeah, son. I did. Done. I know this has nothing to do with the Song Club podcast, but how good does Wrath of Man, the new Guy Ritchie film, look? I don't know about you, but last time I checked, I'm a dude, son. And there's certain movies that are just straight up made for dudes, I think. Now, I know that there's some ladies right now going, hey, son, don't be mansplaining. I get it. But there's certain shit that's just straight up made for dudes. And one of those things is called The Wrath of Man by Guy Ritchie. Like, I saw that, I was like, I'm watching this shit in the theater. I'll put on a goddamn gas mask and watch that shit in the theater, son. That's how good that looks. I did watch his last movie, The Gentleman, which looked terrible, but turned out to be pretty good. Pretty good. I'll tell you who always surprises me is Matthew McConaughey, because I'm like, I'm not going to like him in this. Turns out he was fantastic. And he usually is. He's a very fine actor. I will say that. They didn't fuck around when they gave him that Oscar. Now, that Oscar speech that he gave, come on. Matthew, if you're listening to this podcast, and I hope you are, and I hope you become a Patreon member at the highest level, because you got that Buick money, son. But if you do and are listening to this, come on, dude. Run those speeches by me, and I'll tell you, don't do that speech. Because that shit was what? What are you doing? Just be humble. Even if you're not. I mean, you might be. But when you do that speech, it does not sound like you're humble. It just sounds like you're like, I'm the shit, and that's the way it is. And you can believe that all day long. I believe that all day long about me. And am I saying it right now in this podcast? Yeah. Because it's not the damn Oscar ceremony, son. If I was on the Oscar ceremony, I'd be like, oh, shucks. I'm okay. These other guys that were up for the award, they're better than I am, but I just got lucky somehow and got it because I had a good role or whatever, good director, whatever. And I'll take it and I'm grateful. But I'm not going to spend 3 hours telling people how I'm the shit. Come on, Matthew. You're a great actor. And you're probably a good dude. I don't know you. Have I met you once? Back in the day? Yeah. Back in the day I met you. Do you remember meeting me? Probably not. Now, are you a big Bob Schneider fan? At one point you were, for sure. Are you now? Who knows? I don't know, because I haven't talked to you in a minute. Now, am I now having a conversation with Matthew McConaughey on my podcast? Yeah. And are you guys privy to it? Yeah. Is this sort of like having Matthew McConaughey as a guest on the podcast? Yeah. And you're like, Bob, are you going to let him speak? And the answer is no. I'll just ask questions and I'll answer them for him. Because I'm a dude, son. And that's what dudes do. Anyways, I was going to, on one of the previous versions of this podcast, I told a couple long-ass stories. One of them was about the origin of the song game, which I think I've told before. And I think I knew that. And I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to tell it anyways. You know, like your dad or your grandpa or whoever it is that tells the same ass stories over and over again. It's not like they don't know they haven't told the story. They know they've told it. They're not sure if they've told it to you or to somebody else. But here's what they want to do. Tell the story because it's a good story. They got that shit locked and loaded. When we had SNOVID, I journeyed kind of like a goddamn 1840s explorer from my house all the way to the highway just to make sure that that passage was up, you know, could be done in case there was a medical emergency. And it could be done, by the way. I was able to do it. But on the way, I met people that I'd never met before in my neighborhood. And one of them was this old-timey dude that was like out of a cartoon. And I was like, what's up, old-timey dude? And he was like, ar-dee-dar-dee-dar-dee-dar. And I was like, what accent is that? Where are you from? And he, when I said, where are you from? He was like, I could hear this. Click, 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 click. Because he had some stories that he had chambered in his story gun. And he was about to go, pop, 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 pop. And I was like, here's what I didn't do. Stop walking. So I'm walking this whole time. I'm not slowing down. And he knows it. Because he's an old-timery dude and he knows what's up. So he starts popping off. Where do you mean? Where am I from? Where do you want me to start? And that's, I don't know what the accent is at the end. His accent was British, and I'm doing some, maybe that's Irish, maybe it's Scottish. I think it's probably Scottish. Anyways, he's from Northern England, so the farther north in England you get, it starts turning into Scottish until it eventually becomes true Scots. That's got true Scot, son. Where he's from, he'll spit on the ground before he tells ya. Is that another one of my guests? Yeah, son. That's another guest. Anyways, he starts spitting out these stories. Rat, tat, 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 tat. And I was like, oh, this guy's cool, but I gotta go. So I didn't hear anything that he said. I just kept moving. But he did have some snowshoes. He had some actual snowshoes that he'd parked by his mailbox in Austin, Texas. And these were some old-ass snowshoes. I was like, what brand of hoarder is this motherfucker with snowshoes? If he's got snowshoes, what doesn't he have? And I'm like, what's up with the snowshoes? He's like, do you want to borrow them? I'm like, no, I don't. Because this isn't Norway. This is Austin. And yes, there is snow on the ground. And yes, it's icy. But I don't think those snowshoes are going to do dick, son. Except turn me into a fucking icy hoverboard of a human being. Because it's not like they were, didn't have like nail bottoms. These were for like thick, packed, powdery snow that you have to fucking walk through. And that's not what we had. What we had was a fucking layer of plant killing ice and no power. Why? You figure it out. You figure it out, son. Well, should we get into the songs? It is the song club, for God's sake. Why not? Let's listen to a song. This is a new song. It's called Hollywood. And let's just listen to it, and then I can chit-chat about it here in a second. Here it is. New song, Hollywood.
Your love's just like lemon and lime, like riding a bike for the very first time. I don't know where to put my feet. Oh, I give up. You got me beat. Oh, I lost my head. It's in your bed. There's something about your dangly smile. Make me want to stay a while. You broke my head off when you called, and now it's bouncing down the hall. But I don't care. The floor's not there. No.
That's called That Lazy Whistle, son. That's called That Lazy Whistle from the 40s, dude. Back in the 40s, like, pretty much every song had that lazy whistle. And I'm trying to bring that back. I'm trying to bring that shit back, son. I don't know who that accent is. The son guy. I don't know who that guy is, son. But I like that dude. Because he's saying son like it's... He's saying not like it's... I'm not saying it like you're my son. But I am saying it like I'm your daddy. I am saying it like I'm your daddy. Which is, you know... not very respectful. I will say that. But I mean it in a, you know, when I say, I mean it in a fun way. When I'm acting like I'm being disrespectful, I mean it in a fun way. Anyways, some, you know, different strokes is a saying that was made popular at some point, and then they turned it into a TV show in the 70s. I think it was the 70s, could have been the 80s, called Different Strokes. And there was a guy named Rerun who was overweight, but I have a feeling if I were to look up, I'm thinking of What's Happening, which is a completely different show than Different Strokes. Different Strokes had a little guy in it, and his name was Gary Coleman. And even though he played a little kid, he was like 38. And then he got older, and then people were like, what happened? I thought he was a little kid. And they're like, no, he was 38, and now he's 72, and it's 1991. And now he looks like Yoda. Different Strokes. Anyways, I never watched it. I don't think I watched. I mean, maybe I don't know why I didn't watch it. I guess maybe I was in Germany at the time, and maybe we didn't have it, or I don't know. And then at a certain point, I was not in high school anymore, and then I was out drinking. And the last thing, I don't think I watched anything that was on like evening television from the time from like 83 to about now. Except for maybe Seinfeld, which I watched for some reason. But even that, like, not regularly. I think I watched it once it was in syndication. But yeah, there was a long time where I was like, what? Stay in and watch TV? I got to go out and do my thing, son. And that did not involve watching TV. Well, all right. So that song was called Hollywood. I don't remember what the song phrase was, but it was something. How about that? How about Daddy? How about asking Daddy a mind? And of course, nobody asked me this. It was just an idea that maybe somebody might be wondering, I wonder what the phrase was for that song Hollywood. And then Daddy answering the question going, yeah, I don't know. And then in my mind, there's like a little kid who dropped his ice cream cone on the ground with a tear. And Daddy's going, I guess I could try to pick that up, but it doesn't make any difference because I still don't know what the song phrase was. So, and even if I pick it up, what am I going to dust off the rabies, the ground rabies, and hand it back to you and go, here's your ice cream cone. Enjoy. No, I'm not going to do that because I'm not a fucking monster, son. I'm just here to write some songs and be as cool as you can possibly be. As cool as you can possibly be at my age. Now, my son who's 15, he's like, Dad, because here's what I've been doing the last week or so with my son, is I've been saying the word son the way I've been doing it here. You're welcome. And he's like, Dad, don't do that. And I'm like, okay, son. And then he kind of chuckles a little bit. It makes him laugh. And so that's all I care about. If I can make my son laugh a little bit, dude, if I can make my son laugh a little bit, son, that's all I care about. If I can make my daughter or my son laugh, that's the most beautiful sound that I'm going to hear, really, for the rest of my life. So that's what I live for. And then the rest of it's all like, whatever. Carpentry work. Oh, what's the carpentry work we've got on the sketch today? Oh, we've got the song club. How many times you want to do it? How about 4 times? 4 times sounds perfect. I don't want to do it 5 times. That's for sure. All right, let's listen to another song. This is a song called Numbed. By the way, guess what the song title was for Numbed? Numbed. Let's listen to it. Let's check it out and see if it's any good. Why not? Here we go. Numbed. Alrighty, it's coming in hot. It's coming in hot, y'all. Son, it's coming in hot. Son.
Roses are red, violence necessary. If you end up in the penitentiary, spilling blood in the cafeteria. I'm not here to spread hysteria, but I got a pocket full of fury. I am the judge and the jury. I'll be back here to bury you. Rhymes like a DQ flurry. Watch them rats when they scurry, whipping up a big batch of dirty words. Call me Mr. Schneider. I'm numbed up, numbed up, numbed up, numbed.
Damn. I'm fucking numbed up, motherfucker. Jesus Christ. Oh, man. In case you're wondering, I'm numbed up, motherfucker. Hey, you over there. Guess what? Thanks, Daddy's numbed up. Oh, let me repeat it. I'm numbed up. Numbed. Oh my God. Jesus Christ, son. What's up with Holmes? Oh, he's numbed up. Oh, yeah? Okay, that's cool. My good buddy, a man that I admire for how cool he is, Kevin McKinney is in the song game. You may know him from Soul Hat. He wrote a song called Numbed, but I renamed it to My Days Are Numbered, and it's so good. The chorus is, my days are numbered, my nights are numbed. He's a great songwriter, and he's in the song game. Now, you might be like, hey, Bobby, I want to be in the song game. Well, you can be in the song game, just not my song game. You start your own song game. It's real easy to do. You just start it with you and one other person, and you could add to that list as you go. You just come up with a phrase, set a time limit, write a song, your other friend writes a song, and then you play them for each other, and then you've got your own song game, and then you could start your own podcast, and then nobody can care. Just like with me. Except you guys care, which I appreciate. But really, like literally, there's 500 people that care, which I love, and thank you for being one of those 500 people that care. But then there's 7 billion people who truly and without reservation do not give any shits about the song game or B-Schnids. Son. And I don't like that at all. Now, do I like being anonymous when I go anywhere in the world? Oh, yeah. Do I like the fact that my face isn't the face of Brad Pitt? Not really. Because in my 20s, if I had the face of Brad Pitt, I would have gotten a lot of haze from the ladies. So that would have been cool. And I could have really just written my own goddamn ticket if I looked like Brad Pitt. Now, am I an attractive man? Am I one of the most attractive people on the planet? Well, yes, of course I am. Do people hate me for my beauty? Yes. Do they envy me for my masculine virility? Yes, they do. Are all those people music critics? Yes. Are music critics shut-in, grumpy-ass dickheads for the most part? Yeah. Are there exceptions? Yes. Are the exceptions the ones that are listening to this podcast? Absolutely. If you're listening to this podcast and you're a music critic, you're off the hook. I'm not talking about you. I'm only talking about the music critics who are not listening to this podcast. Those people are a bunch of curmudgeon-y pieces of poop. And they can all go fuck themselves forever. Now, if they're listening to this, I'm not talking to you. I'm only talking to the people that aren't, son. So, by the way, that's most all of the music critics in the world. Here's a question. Ship sinking. There's 5 people on the ship. 4 of them are not music critics, and 1 of them is a music critic. Who gets the life preservers? You figure it out and get back to me. Let's listen to another new song. This one's called HYUNDAI, except I think you say it Hyundai. Even though there's a Y that would make you want to go, hi, or he, hi, Hyundai. You just ignore it. Kind of like you do with a lot of things. It's like, all right, I know you're there, but I'm just going to ignore you. Hyundai. Anyways, it's called Hyundai. I wrote this one in a different DAW. Oh, shit, he said DAW, son. And for the non-technical people, that stands for Digital Audio Workstation. I record all my songs on a computer using a program called Logic. But there are many other DAWs Pro Tools is one. And I used one called Ableton Live, which a lot of these young whippersnappers are using. And my friend Max Frost, who is in the song game, also a very talented young man, he keeps turning in these songs that sound like songs that I hear on the radio. And I'm like, how did you fucking do that, dude? And he goes, I've been using Ableton Live, man. You got to learn it. And I was like, why are you talking like that? And he goes, I'm not. You are doing a weird accent that has nothing to do with how I talk. Oh, okay. Do I have Max Frost on as a guest right now? Yeah, I do. Did I think that I never had guests on this show? Yeah. But do I always have guests? Yeah. Always. Anyways, so because of him and his brilliant songwriting, I decided, well, let me learn this Ableton Live. And I recorded this one in Ableton Live. Now you're going to hear something that sounds like pornography. Is it pornography? No. It's just me going like this. And then I just pitched my vocals up so it sounds like a lady, but it's just a feller. And the feller's name is B. Schneider. All right, let's check it out. Here it is. Oh, we better crank this shit up. There it is, son. That's me. That's me. Yeah.
You're spitting in my ear.
Oh, shit, too loud.
Calling it the ocean. Girl, your big old eyes are like a magic potion. I got that notion that the final solution is something to do with you leaving me alone for the rest of my life. That ain't a wife, I ain't a dog bone. Baby, I'm a man, so maybe we can figure out a different plan.
I'm rapping.
Been picking up my teeth for a week. Let me sneak up in the front seat. I got some truth to speak, cause the way the clouds move around your face in the sky made me forget all the reasons why. Your name will be forgotten, and so am I.
I'm rapping. Yeah.
The way the clouds move around your face in the sky made me forget all the reasons why.
I'm rapping.
Your name will be forgotten, and so am I.
I do a lot of rapping on that song, and everybody's happy because I'm rapping. Yeah. Now, are there other rappers in the world? I guess so. Do people care about them? Yeah, they do. Why am I asking all these questions? Because I got guests, and the guests' name are me. So that's called HYUNDAI. Let's listen to another brand new song. This one's called, you know what? Because I was just going to say a bunch of interesting, fun shit. But you know what? I'm excited to play these songs for you. Especially this new one. This next one's called Horseradish. Yum. Yum, Bobby. I know, right? I like horseradish. Now, I'll just leave it at that. Anyways, this is a song. I was just driving along and I just had this line come to me. You got kisses like a horseradish. And I was just like, oh, I don't know where that came from, but I like it. And so I grabbed my phone and I recorded it. Got kisses like a horseradish. Got a halo like a ham bone. And I recorded that and then I put it in my phone, sent it to myself. And then a couple days later, when I had to write my song for the week, I was like, oh, let me see if I can figure this out and turn it into a song. And I did. And I called it Horseradish. And let's listen to it as a group while the birds do their thing-a-majing. Here we go.
You got kisses like a horseradish, got hugging like a ham bone. You got a mouth like an apple pie, got a temper like a bank loan. I went walking in the desert, but the rain came down. Washed away all my big plans, left me stranded in this strange town. Used to think I could give you what you were looking for, but I don't think that way anymore. You got a punch like a bank boss, got a grin like a golden chain.
Oh yeah, that's a good line right there. Got a punch like a bank boss, you got a grin like a golden chain. That golden chain line, pretty proud of that. There's a bunch of good lines in that song. I've been listening, I haven't been listening to him, but I have listened to a few songs by Kurt Vile in the last few weeks. And he is now one of my favorite songwriters. Lyrically, he's so inventive and funny. And every once in a while, I'll hear somebody like him will come along, and it just makes me want to be more. It just makes me want to be more creative. Like, don't stop at boring. Don't stop at okay. Like, try to get to, oh, that's a great line. Try to get to, that's a great line. Or not even that's a great line, because that's actually a way to kind of stop yourself from writing. But just have fun, basically. Be silly. And I do think that when I'm having fun, being silly, not taking myself too seriously in the songwriting process is really when I do come up with some nice stuff. And I think there's some nice songs in that line, in that song, and I'm really happy with the way it turned out. And so I hope you guys like it. And again, you know, a lot of these songs would be songs that would just sit on my computer. I'd write them, they'd sit on there. Only the very best of the best songs ever get on the record, and I don't know if any of those would get on the record, but they're pretty good. And that Horseradish song is, I really love that song. And I'm glad I get to share it with you guys. I'm glad you guys get to, you know, get a copy of it and can check that out, because otherwise you wouldn't. And yeah, I've got probably 1,000 songs that I've written over the years, because I started, you know, pretty much writing in earnest back in probably 95. But I mean, I was writing songs even before that. But I've written a lot of songs, and let's go back. Let's go back a few years and listen to a song from, I think I wrote this one in 2010, about the time I met my wife. She was pretty young when I met her. She was 24, and was pretty young. And I wrote this song because I was smitten by her, and lots of times I've found in my life when I fall in love with somebody, even though I might be, you know, like right now I'm in my late 40s, and when I say late 40s, I mean real late. But even a man in his late 40s, falling in love might not feel like an adult, but feel more like I felt like when I was a teenager. And lots of times that's kind of the emotional age of some songs. Anyways, I wrote this one. It's kind of a fun song, and the idea is like, I'm going to take my wife, she wasn't my wife at the time, my girlfriend, to the mall and buy her some stuff. Anyways, I wrote the song, and then I played it for my girlfriend at the time, now wife, and she was like, this sounds like you're singing this song to like a 13-year-old. I'm like, well, I'm not. It's a song kind of about you. But let's check it out and try to not think about that. Or think about it and, I don't know, let's check it out, and then we can talk about it. We can have a discussion about it afterwards. How about that? Just look both ways before you step into traffic. Here we go. Oh yeah, the 80s. Is that a drum machine? Oh yeah.
Let's do this, baby, like it was 1980. I'll be Henry Winkler, and you can do the sprinkler on the floor with the girls. Oh my God, you're the world. You rock it. You're hot. You're gaudy. It's your bod. I just tripped on my tongue. Oh my God, you are so young. Don't you worry, I'll pay the bill. Pick it up, you can go. I will. You don't need to be fighting for crumbs. I'm the man. I ain't no bum. I'm a bad motherfucker. I ain't no bitch.
Goddamn. Goddamn. Goddamn.
Let's drive a truck to the store so we can get some more. That shit that you dig, just like a little pig at the trough. My price has got no limit. If you want it, get it brighter, no problem. Jacob on your Bible looks so great. Oh, I hate for all this Gucci to go to waste. Let's get it before we leave. Let's make this credit card bleed.
Oh yeah, Prada, Marc Jacobs. Dude, here's what I do. Here's what I don't do when I write songs. Actually, like, do research. Whatever I can pull out of my head, that's what's going in the song. Years and years ago, when I was dating a famous person, I was given a Prada suit to wear to an award ceremony. I still have it. Have I been able to even squeeze even part of an arm into that suit in the last 15 years? No, I have not. Because, I grew into who I am. A full-grown motherfucking man, son. And so, yeah. So it's hard for me to squeeze into that suit. But I have not thrown it away because that thing is expansive. Would I have ever bought a Prada suit in my life? No. Is it because I have zero self-esteem or self-worth? Yes. That's why. Will I go to the men's warehouse and see if they've got something on sale once every 15 years and buy that suit? Yeah, that's what I'm buying. And then when all the dust settles, did I just spend way more than I thought I was going to spend at men's warehouse because they have all these little slippery add-ons? Yeah. Because you think you're going to spend $299 for a custom suit at men's warehouse, but by the time you leave, you've spent like $800. That's how they make all that money, son. I feel like that guy must have, for sure that guy got canceled, right? I don't know anything about men's warehouse, but just when I think of those commercials, and I haven't seen any commercials with that guy in a while, but when I think of those commercials, I go, oh, that guy got canceled at some point for sure, for something. He did something. Here's what I know. I went in there and bought a suit one time, and I know I can't be just, haphazardly using the hashtag -- thing, but I mean, that's as close to Me Too as I've gotten going into men's warehouse. If they want to sponsor the show, I can change that story to whatever they want it to be. Because that's the kind of person I am. Fucking integrity. That's my middle name. Bob Integrity Schnizzle Snacks. Yeah, that's right. Kids love it. All right, let's listen to another song. This is another song from around that period, 11 years ago. I was into 80s synthesizers. I was buying a bunch of synthesizers back then, and they also have these. Sometimes they'll take an old synthesizer, an old drum machine, and they'll circuit bend it, where they put in some extra buttons, and then you can distort it and change it and do stuff. And so I bought this drum machine that had some circuit bent knobs on it. And you'll hear it in this next song. It's pretty cool. I haven't used it in years. I might have to use it again. It sounds pretty cool in this song. This is called The Gray Ray. The Gray Ray is a reference to this idea that you're in a tunnel and it's dark as fuck in the tunnel, and you're walking and you're walking and you're walking. You're like, God damn it. This fucking spidery, zombie-filled fucking tunnel seems to be going on forever. But then all of a sudden you see the tiniest gray ray of light at the end of the tunnel. And that's what this song's about. It's called The Gray Ray. Here we go. Oh yeah, it's the 80s, baby. Son?
All my love keeps slipping out. Can't keep it in. There ain't no doubt. And all I see are the shining stars up above. There you are. You and me, we're all alone in the dark. We're nowhere home, but that's alright. No need to find it, no need to worry. Well, I might be blinded. I see a gray ray at the end of the tunnel, baby. I see a gray ray at the end of the tunnel. Yeah, I see a gray ray at the end of the tunnel, baby. I see a gray ray at the end of the tunnel.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, that's the gray ray at the end of the tunnel. I guess the reason that I even am doing those songs this week is I was kind of looking through my library of songs and decided I was going to do an 80s dance party live stream this weekend. And so I was trying to find all the songs that kind of remind me of the 80s. And those are definitely songs that remind me of the 80s. And I'll probably be playing that song this weekend at our little 80s dance party. I hope you guys are there. I know some of you will be, and I'll be looking forward to that. That was called The Gray Ray. Let's listen to, here's another one. I was shocked, actually, when I realized, I've never included this demo in the Song Club. And now this is why I'm glad I have the Song Club, because I don't believe the song's ever been released, but I could be wrong. And I know if it has been, some of you guys will be like, oh, yeah, Bobby, that was on blah, blah, blah. But I don't, it was supposed to be on the Californian, but I don't think it was on the Californian. I recorded about 24 songs. The Californian originally was going to be a live album to kind of showcase what the band sounded like at the time. This was around 2006 or 2007. Because Billy Harvey, who was the guitar player at that time, was leaving the band. And I was like, well, before he leaves the band, I would love to record a whole 2-hour set of us playing, because we had grown into a really tight band at that point. So we went and recorded all these songs. We were going to add like live music, like live audience, like clapping and stuff like that, to make it sound like a double live album. But what we found out was if we, pared it down to 11 songs, it kind of became this rock record, which is what I ended up putting out, the Californian. And so a bunch of songs never got released. And one of them was the song ASSKNOCKER, which people request all the time, which I don't like to play necessarily very often. But when you haven't, like, for instance, I haven't played in a year. For the most part, I haven't played any live shows. And recently I played some live shows. And I got requests for ASSKNOCKER, and I'm like, I haven't played in forever. I'll play whatever you want. And I played ASSKNOCKER, and it turns out, I like that song, and it's fun. So this is really the definitive version of it that we recorded in the studio, but with the idea that it was going to sound live. So this is the way we perform it live, but with the studio quality, son. Here it is, ASSKNOCKER, and I'm glad you guys get a copy of it. Here it is. Check it out. That sounds like every bit as iconic as like Stairway to Heaven to me right there. Oh, that's loud. Oh, I hope that didn't blow your speakers.
All I wanna do is rock this motherfucker all night long, y'all.
Allman Brothers.
Stop till the crack of dawn, y'all. Ass knocking till you can't go on. Stop over with the goodies and get it on. All I wanna do is rock this motherfucker all night long, y'all. Stop until the crack of dawn, y'all. Ass knocking till you can't go on. Stop over with the goodies and get it on. Ride the house party like Freddie King. Maybe drive some bounds like it's no big thing. Fuck the system like a psychopath. To bring a little good knowledge like Sylvia Plath. And maybe eat some hot wings with Aquaman. And maybe bring the funky flat bar across the land. Teach the world to sing the song so we can all get together and all get along. So all I wanna do is rock this motherfucker all night long, y'all. Stop till the crack of dawn, y'all. Ass knocking till you can't go on. Stop over with the goodies and get it on. All I wanna do is rock this motherfucker all night long, y'all. Stop till the crack of dawn, y'all. Ass knocking till you can't go on. Stop over with the goodies and get it on. Hanging out with rappers at the laundromat while the dickhead boyfriends wonder where they're at. Take it up a notch to the 5th degree, like I was taught to do by the Master G. Sleepwalk through the land of love while 100 million suns burning hot above.
Man, it's so crazy what you can find on the internet. I swear to God. So I was like, well, let me see if that was actually on the Californian. Now, I know some of you are like, don't you know what's on your albums? No, I don't. Because once I record them, I never listen to them ever again. So I looked up the Californian on Wikipedia, and it's got all the information on here. Californian is the 5th solo studio album and 7th release project from Bob Schneider, released 2006. Originally planned as a double disc set, the Californian was produced in part as the culmination of Schneider's collaboration with rock guitarist Billy Harvey, who had been part of the touring band. And then it lists all the tracks. While never formally released, the Californian Disc 2 is intended to be a live album of songs with a raw feel and was recorded in studio with an audience track to be mixed in later. How about that? Who the fuck put that up on Wikipedia? Is what I want to know. Like, that's so crazy to me. Anyways. Crazy. And it looks real. Like, that looks like some real shit to me. Anyways, pretty crazy. We live in a strange, wonderful, mysterious world. And I'm glad to be part of the world. And I'm glad you guys are part of the world, whoever you are. I don't know you. But I'm glad you're part of the world. I'm glad you're part of the Song Club. Again, thank you for supporting on Patreon. And if you want to support, it's easy. If you want to get your hot hands on these songs that you've heard today in the Song Club and 48 other Song Club releases of 8 songs, 48 times 8, I don't know what that is. What do I look like, fucking Albert Einstein? That's all there. You join today, you get all that music, and you get my new record, In a Room Full of Blood with a Sleeping Tiger, weeks, months, or days before it comes out on the other things. So, and you get to access to the live stream and all that good stuff. So if you're not a member and you're listening to this, I don't know who you are. I really don't know who you are, but join today. And thanks. I'm pre-thanking you for joining. And of course, most of you are already members, so thank you as well. All right, let's get out of here with another new song. This is called Dude, I Couldn't Tell If He Was Coming or Going. What do I know what this song is about? No, I don't. Do I write songs often, son? Where I don't even know what they're about. Yeah. In fact, most of the time, when I start writing a song, I don't know what I'm writing about. I'm just writing down whatever comes into my head. And as I'm writing, it becomes clearer and clearer what the song's about. And then at some point, I'll write something, and then maybe I'm singing it into the mic over some music. And at some point, I'll sing it in just the right way. And I'm like, oh, that's what the song is. That's the chorus hook. And then I know what it is. And then once I know what it is, then the rest of it writes itself very easily. But this song I wrote, and I'm like, I don't know what it is, but it's fun. And do I like listening to it? I kind of do. Does it sound like Iggy Azalea's Fancy? Yeah. Like, does it sound like it so much that if ever I put it out, people would be trolling the fuck out of me going, hey man, that's fancy. And I'd be like, I know it is, bitch. Anyways, that's why I will never put it out. Like, this song would never get put out, except it is getting put out here in the Song Club for you guys. Because you guys are the in crowd. You guys are the cool bunch. And it's so nice to be here with you guys. And we'll see you next month. Y'all have a wonderful month. If you guys want more podcast action, you can check out my twice weekly podcast that I do with my friend Clint Wells. It's called I'm Okay, You're Okay. I'm Not Okay, You're Not Okay. Where we just shoot the shit and have a good time. It's a fun podcast, and I think you'd like it. If you like this one, you'll definitely like that one. Come see me on Monday nights during the live stream and say hi in the chat, and I'll try to say hi back. Okay, let's listen to it, and we'll get out of here. Thanks. Oh, yeah. Fancy. I'm fancy. Son.
I saw a dude, I couldn't tell if he was coming or going. I saw a dude, I couldn't tell if he was coming or going. I saw a dude, I couldn't tell if he was coming or going. I saw a dude, I couldn't tell if he was coming or going. His head was melting in the sun like ice cream. I mean, the world was all chock full of star beams, just glowing like the neon in your beautiful smile. I had to stop and slow it down for a while. I had to stop and in my mind make a pile of all the useless shit in my life. I had to take the trash and put it on the curb. I changed my mind from a noun to a verb. I saw a dude, I couldn't tell if he was coming or going. I saw a dude, I couldn't tell if he was coming or going. I saw a dude, I couldn't tell if he was coming or going. I saw a dude, I couldn't tell if he was coming or going. You got a mouth that seems to get in your way. I don't like getting caught in your bullet spray. You're just popping at the club like a 4th of July. You got a car before you come, you can't be just stopping by. I got the clutch in the trunk, I took a nap on the hood. Can't help it if I'm so fucking good. But the thing you see that's bothering me is even though I'm looking right at you, I don't know what I see. I saw a dude, I couldn't tell if he was coming or going. I saw a dude, I couldn't tell if he was coming or going. I saw a dude.